Nalo dabala. I don't know what opinion it's on this. JSE finds former EOH director Anushka Bogdanov 500,000 rand for faking qualification, and also bans her from holding a directorship for a period of 10 years in any JSE listed company. Anushka was actually a member of the board of directors for EOH from June 2019, and she resigned on July 28, 2020. So basically, she was there for just over a year. And the reason she resigned is because she could not prove the qualifications that she claimed she had. She claimed that she had a PhD in international finance. Let me see if I'm actually getting that qualification correctly. It says upon Bogdanov's appointment as a director of EOH, curriculum vitae provided to the company stated that she held a PhD in international finance obtained from the London Business School in 2007-2008. But that was not true. She actually didn't have this qualification. Now, they finding it is 500,000 rand. And the question really here is, why did you have to lie about her qualifications? Because for you to hold a position of a director, you are not really required to have any PhDs or any qualifications for that matter. It's really up to the company to say whether you possess the skills that they require for the role that they want you to play, for them to actually appoint you. And it's just very similar to the story that was actually trending around 2024, which is basically last year, about a lady. Her name is Tabi Lioka. I've seen even this one even on TV. She would be interviewed because she's an economist by qualification. But also she was a director, a non-executive director in companies like Netcare, in companies like Remgro, and one other company, I think it was Anglo-American. She also had claimed that she had a PhD in economics from London School of Economics. Was that the school? London School of Economics, yes. You know, these London schools and London universities, I don't know why people find it easy to lie about having qualifications from there. She was also fined 500,000 rand and banned from being a director of a company listed on the JSE for a period of 5 years. But here is my question, really. Given that these people don't really have to possess these qualifications to be in these positions of directorships, what is the driving force behind them actually making these false claims? Is it maybe perhaps because they are women? Because these two people I'm talking about are actually women. And these are very, very privileged positions. You know, a position of being a director in a listed company is very, very privileged. Not everybody gets a chance to actually be a director in a company, in these listed companies, a non-executive director for that matter. So now, is it the pressure really of wanting to be there that pushes them to an extent that they can actually just make such false claims? Because for them as women, perhaps, to even be considered for these positions, they are probably expected to really possess much higher skills and qualifications than their male counterparts. Whereas they're actually black, you know, could that really be a contributing factor that they had this pressure that they must actually have these qualifications in order for them to be able to be considered for these positions? I don't know what is your take on this, but it is just a disturbing trend, because you see it's actually happening and it's continuing. But you know, as I'm talking here, it's not just about them. There is also a story in the Eastern Cape of a prosecutor, or a person that was supposed to be a prosecutor for that matter, that had actually faked his qualification. This person was practicing in court as a prosecutor, but he didn't have the law degree. Well, that one was actually a male. So there's also an issue of a spokesperson for one of the departments in the Eastern Cape that is also undergoing a court process for the similar thing. But going back to the stories that I was talking about, the two stories, because these people are fined by the JSE these huge sums of money. 500,000 rand is a huge sum of money. Now here's my question. What happens if these people can't pay these fines? What are the consequences if these people can't pay these fines? because I mean the JSA is not a court of law, so they can't really enforce these things by maybe taking you to jail. Well, I don't know what the tribunal or whatever the sitting that took this decision actually had as a judgment or a condition in terms of actually paying this money. How are they actually supposed to pay this money, especially given the fact that they are no longer going to be serving in those boards, so they will not be getting those board fees, which are quite substantial. Because it's another question that we need to look at. There's going to be just another video or a few videos where one has got to look, what do those guys actually get paid? I know they get paid a lot of money. Personally, I served in a committee in one of the municipalities, in one of the committees and the audit committees. For one meeting, about 4 or 5 hours meeting, the payment was like 10,000, 12,000, just for a day's work. Now you can imagine these companies pay a whole lot more. It is probably not far-fetched to think that for one sitting, these guys could earn as high as 100,000 rand. So, and they have about 4 or 5 meetings in a year, and they also serve in these committees because they are board meetings, which are probably scheduled every quarter, and then they belong in certain committees. Like this woman here, Anushka, she was in the remuneration committee. At some point, she was in the risk committee. So you serve in all these committees. You literally have to go there and have meetings. Say maybe a meeting every month. If you look at it, so it's like you've got 12 meetings in a year. That's a good amount of money. So that is a driving factor, of course. But one just has got to look, how much are they actually getting paid? That drives them to actually want to actually do that. Guys, what is your opinion on the story? I think the story is interesting. What is really the motive? Why do they feel the pressure that they have to go to lie about their qualifications?